Hey Cancer, welcome to your March 2017 reading. My name is Dre, and I'm going to be giving you your general messages. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Before we start, I just have a few messages. If you see somebody use my videos, please report them. Hasn't happened yet, but I just want to get that out of the way before it does. It happens to other YouTubers, other tarot readers, and it sucks. Please enable notifications if you haven't. It's like, I know there's like a bell or whatever next to the red subscription box or something. I don't know. YouTube changes things. So if you want to stay updated for when I put up my videos, just enable those. Again, thank you guys so much for all your support, all of your views, all your comments. It's amazing. And seeing that these readings really resonate with you guys it's inspiring, it's empowering. And I also wanted to say, what I love the most about the tarot community, I guess, on YouTube is that sometimes all of our messages, or most of our messages, like sync up together, which is kind of cool when that happens. But again, if the messages don't resonate, again, you can find there's plenty more tarot readers on here that are amazing. All of them are inspiring to me. Follow me on Twitter. I sort of make it like an extension of this, where I'll do like a weekly card reading or whatever. And I also talk about astrology, even though I've gotten kind of bad at it. I got to pick it back up. But I'm still giving readings. The discount will continue through March because it's my birthday month. And all of you guys have been so happy or so supportive, and I've been so thankful for it. Let's get started, I guess. I told myself I wasn't going to... When I first started doing these for the March readings, I was going to tell myself that I wasn't going to implement any of the stuff from the last readings, but in all the readings I've done, it's carried over energy. And you guys, along with Capricorn, because you two are opposing signs, so I always see like this sort of connection between you two. I was actually going to start doing the Celtic cross, which is not what I wanted. With the same thing with Capricorn, as well as with Aries and Libra, since you guys are getting hit really hard, you guys have been for the past few years. And now it seems like it's sort of come back, especially with all this energy moving into Aries. So for you guys, it's probably just like really intense right now in terms of your work life, or at least where you want to take your career. You guys might have all these ideas, or you're meeting all these new people, or you're seeing all these opportunities that are coming. But it's hard to... Because Jupiter in Libra is telling us to expand our network, our communications or whatever, but there's a part of us that can't let another part of us go, where there has to be total endings before we're able to bring in new beginnings. And that's been a consistent theme with all of these readings. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant in reverse. Okay, so in the center we have the High Priestess reverse. We have the Four of Cups reverse. King of Cups. Seven of Swords. King of Swords. The Lovers reversed. Three of Wands reversed. Princess of Pentacles reversed. Yes. And the Five of Pentacles. It's tough for you right now to make a decision because you are sort of weighing the pros and cons of a situation, or you're trying to figure out what benefits you the most out of this situation. It's directly an emotional thing connected to somebody else. Again, these are general readings. I'm not doing love readings like I did exclusively for the last month. So this can apply to anything. Since there are pentacles here, as well as cups, it could be, as well as swords and wands. It could be career, it can be family, or it can be relationships. So whatever applies to you. But what I'm getting in the general sense is that you feel like you guys might be like duping yourself a little bit. You might be counting yourself out, giving yourself the benefit of the doubt with regards to how you feel about somebody. Because you might feel like that with this person, or with whoever this is, that you can sort of bring them. Okay, for right now, I'm seeing a relationship reading, but I'll go into the other things too. You're seeing it that you're trying to make something work. You're trying to make something happen. And it's not like you two don't get along. It's not like you two don't have some sort of commonality. And it's not like you two don't have a history, but it's just like the past pretty much dictates our future. I mean, our present as well. But it's more like there's a lot of hurt here. There's a lot of false starts. There's a lot of misdirection, I feel like, between you two. In the sense that things can be fine one moment, but then they sort of go off track because, excuse me, you two might be talking about something and then somebody brings something up and it just brings up all these bad memories, or it brings up something uncomfortable. There's uncomfortable energy here where you two aren't, it's not easy for you guys to actually find common ground. It's not easy for you guys to, again, pick up the pieces of where whatever last hurts or whatever last sort of pain came before you. It's not easy for you to just simply let that go. And I think with the Hierophant in reverse crowning this, it's just like there's a part of you that needs to reassess your choice. The Hierophant is a card of choice as well as the Lovers. The Hierophant is more of a choice of like, do you follow the crowd or do you go your own way? Where do you stand in terms of your fellow men or fellow women, in terms of, what traditions you follow and what you feel like traditions you can buck and what traditions you feel like matter and what don't. And in reverse, it's just like, I feel like you're truly trying to question that. Again, with the High Priestess in reverse and with the Lovers reverse. This is a situation that is going to require you to actually, it's going to require you to actually be your true emotional self, Cancer. Because this is you, this King of Cups. Because it's, your intuition is not failing you. I'm getting that sense right now. Like, you guys might just be really questioning yourself with regards to somebody else or with regards to somebody that you spend a lot of time with, whether it's like a parent or, well, it could be a parent, but like a coworker or a boss or whatever. Either they're controlling you, they're stifling you from actually really trying to express yourself or get out of this emotional rut. But it's more like, just by the very dynamic of you two, you can't, there's not a moment for you guys to talk before they're putting you down or before they're putting, you down, like self-esteem wise, or in terms of your dreams, in terms of where you want this relationship to go, because they're giving you mixed signals. They're giving you false messages. And so I feel like it's important for you to just really trust your intuition. But I feel like there's something else here that needs to be realized. I'm going to pull a clarifier for the High Priestess in reverse. Because it's like, it could be their actions. It could be how they've treated you. But I feel like going forward, you guys really have to remain on your guard. You have to remain about your wits. We have the Three of Pentacles reversed. So it's hard for you guys to even come together in any sort of way that is stable, because the stability probably wasn't there to begin with. We have 2 threes. So I'm getting the sense that this has been a process. It's been ongoing in that you're trying to meet somebody halfway, and maybe they're trying to meet you halfway, maybe, but it's just like things just aren't coming together. And I'm really getting the sense is because it's that Four of Cups in reverse, where at one point in this relationship you were bored, but you're probably content. But now it's just like you've sensed a change in the air. You're just like, you might actually be waking up to what you feel like you deserve, to what you feel like you are owed in regards to going forward. Because I'm seeing you guys, you have some sort of control. You have a modicum of control in terms of where you want to place your emotions. And it's going to be important for you to understand that you've come a long way. You've reached this point now where you really can't turn back. Or at least if you do, you have to be able to embrace any mistakes or whatever and take it as a learning lesson, especially if it's exclusively with regards to this King of Swords. Again, he can be an air sign or she, but it doesn't matter. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. This can be any sort of energy. There's somebody that is wise, that has a lot of knowledge, and I'm getting the sense that you've learned a lot about this person the time you've been with them. Whether you work for them, whether it's a family member, you know a lot about them, they know a lot about you. But it seems like going forward, it's going to be crucial for you to understand that if you two are to work something out, if you two are to try to reach some sort of common ground, you can't play yourself. The Seven of Swords, I just gave a reading to a friend, and he got that in reverse. But it was, I always get the sense that with the Seven of Swords, it's like if it's upright, it's cautioning us to be on our guard, to keep a lookout. And if it's reversed, it's more like we can't play ourselves. So with it upright here, it's just mainly, there's a process here that's going to require a lot of tact, but not even tact, because Seven of Swords, that can be pretty, it can easily be about avoiding confrontation as much as it is getting what is necessary out there. Because after the 7 is the 8, and I feel like if we're not able to truly come to terms with what needs to be said, what needs to be exposed, what needs to actually be talked about, it can lead to anxiety, which is in the 8 of Swords. And so I feel like it's important going forward to realize that maybe this love or this union, this choice that you've made related to somebody, it wasn't probably the wisest. And you might be beating yourself up about that because you probably had this idea in your mind that, oh, it was always supposed to be this way. It was this way at one point, but now you're just questioning it because, probably not that even that long ago, you weren't happy with this person. You weren't satisfied. But I feel like something maybe has changed. They probably showed you a different side of themselves, giving you hope to feel like you can move forward. But now it's just like, no. That's sort of what I get. It's just like, not that it's a total no, but it's just like, it's going to be important for you to understand that in order to build something, in order to start something new, which is this Princess of Pentacles, you have to be able to deal with relics of the past, to deal with in communication, disharmony, somebody willingly not wanting to work with the other, you not wanting to work with them not wanting to work with you. I'm looking at this King of Swords, his body posture, his arms are folded, he's in between this reverse Four of Cups and this Three of Wands that's reversed. So I'm just getting the sense that even if you do try to bring up, well, remember that time you said that to me, or remember that time I wanted to do this, but you didn't. I'm getting the sense that this person is just uncaring. But it's just that with kings, with any sort of energy like this, they're fixed in their thought. They're fixed in, for some of you, this may be Aquarius, or it could be a Scorpio with this King of Cups, but I'm seeing that as you. But it's mainly like you might be just like trying to wash it out of your mind. Because with this High Priestess in reverse, it's just like we're not asking ourselves the toughest questions. We're not choosing to see things in a way that we explicitly want to. And it's directly tied to the history of you guys' relationship, the history of not only that, but the history of your communication, the history of what you've built leading up to this. And it's just like one of you wants to start something new. I'm mainly seeing it as you, but it's just like there's a lot here that needs to be reassessed, and there's a lot about this that needs to be reanalyzed because it's not. again, I feel like you might be beholden to this person. You guys might be married, or you might just work for them, in like a sort of, they say, what they say goes sort of type of environment I'm seeing. And it's hard for you to try to reconcile what you believe is tradition, what you feel like is right that you should do, with how you feel now, which is, there might be hope, but I'm seeing as you're like clinging onto something. You're hanging on to the hope. And it's not that the hope is dead, but it's like it doesn't lead you anywhere that's all that pleasant, because we have the Five of Pentacles here, where, okay, you two might get back together, but it's just like the same problems that were there before is just going to keep happening. And again, you might be putting too much of your self-esteem and too much of your faith in this person, hoping that they are your answer, that this is the person that you're supposed to be with. But again, don't play yourself. Stay cautious. Stay wary. Stay alert, because it's just that when it comes to us actually, and I've been thinking about this, because it's very easy for us to just fall into a habit of feeling like we're owed the bare minimum of somebody giving us love, because that's all we're accustomed to. We're used to just being given crumbs and given scraps. Why? We deserve the full course. We deserve everything. When somebody tells us that they want to be with us, they have to give us everything. We can't settle for less. We can't settle for somebody that's unmoving, unwilling to be able to talk to you, being able to reassess what really needs to happen. The very foundation, the very structure, the very thing that this relationship is built upon, everything that is predicated upon. The fact that two people even want to come together, or you want to work for somebody, or you want to do this for somebody, the very fact that union is taking place, that in and of itself needs to be looked at. It needs to be addressed. It needs to be, why are you two here together? If somebody's not doing their share, why are you even? And I'm trying not to be too hard, because this is too relatable. It hits close to home, but it's just like there has to come a point where we're just tired of just living in the status quo. Where we're tired of just dealing with somebody's BS just because we've accepted that burden, because it's easier to do that than to be alone. And it's a painful realization that at the end of the day, we don't want to be alone. And I don't know, maybe because I'm seeing this a lot more now, because I'm going to pull one more, because I know a lot of people that have been through this. I've been through this. It's just when we come out of that feeling of worthlessness, that we don't deserve something, that's when we get everything we want. Or if not everything, we're at least in the process of starting to bring in the things that we want, because we've cut somebody out of our life that doesn't want anything to do with us to begin with. So I feel like it's going to be so important for you guys going forward to understand, your happiness is not in somebody else's hands. Your happiness, in regards to, even if it's a work situation, you might just be suffering working at a place because, you have to pay the bills. Fine. But where do you see yourself going forward? Do you actually see yourself being miserable working here for years at a time? Do you see yourself being attached to this person who could honestly probably not care less about you? Even talking to this person is just a chore, and it's a headache. And it's just like you want to start something new. You want to bring something new to the table, but it's just like you need to reassess. Something about this situation is you're not prepared for it. Earth, Princess of Pentacles, Earth energy, new, fresh Earth energy. The foundation, the start, the seed, the planting of the thing or whatever. It's not the Ace of Pentacles, but it's as close as we get with a court card. And I see court cards as energies anyway. So it's just like, to me, it's just like, how can you even try to build something if the pH of the soil is too high or something like that, or if you don't even have, if the season's off, if you haven't even put in the study to be a farmer, how can you even do that? How can you expect a relationship to grow and to blossom if if you're doing all the work and the other person isn't? Or if you're trying to communicate with the person but the other person isn't? Or if you see a hope for your relationship and the other person might say they do, but at the end of the day, they keep showing you time and time and again that they don't. Be about your wits, Cancer. So, in the Osho Zen deck, we have this abundance card, which is the King of Rainbows, which corresponds to the King of Pentacles. And I pulled another one just for extra advice, and we have Playfulness, which I think is the Knight of Fire, the Knight of Wands, but I'll find out. I just got this deck. I've been obsessed with it. It's so chill, and I feel like it's advice anybody can take because it's so easy to listen to and it's easy to absorb. So in terms of the abundance card, excuse me, show it to you again. In the East, people have condemned the body, condemned matter. They call matter illusory, Maya. It does not really exist. It only appears to exist. It is made of the same stuff as dreams are made of. They deny the world, and that is the reason for the East remaining poor, sick, and in starvation. Half of humanity has been accepting the inner world but denying the outer world, while the other half of humanity has been accepting the material world and denying the inner world. Both are half, and no man who is half can be contented. You have to be whole, rich in the body, rich in science, rich in meditation, rich in consciousness. Only a whole person is a holy person, according to whoever wrote this, according to me. I want Zorba and Buddha to meet. Zorba alone is hollow. His dance is not in eternal significance. It is momentary pleasure. Soon he will be tired of it. Unless you have inexhaustible sources available to you from the cosmos itself, unless you become existential, you cannot become whole. This is my contribution to humanity, the whole person. Again, you cannot do the work of two people, Cancer. If you're being forced to do this at your job, if you're forced to do it in a relationship, if you're forced to do it in a family, take care of everybody, you can't do that. You have to be a whole person before you're able to actually feel this sort of abundance. And I feel like I gave a message like that earlier. But then again, a lot of these messages have been repeating themselves for a lot of signs. And so we have, let me try to figure out what this is. Excuse me a moment. We have the Page of Fire, which is playfulness. The moment you start seeing life as non-seriousness, playfulness, all the burden on your heart disappears. All the fear of death, of love, of life, everything disappears. One starts living with a very light weight, or almost no weight. One becomes so weightless one can fly in the open sky. Zen's greatest contribution is to give you an alternative to the serious man. The serious man has made the world. The serious man has made all the religions. He has created all the philosophies, all the cultures, all the moralities. Everything that exists around you is a creation of the serious man. Zen has dropped out of the serious world. It has created a world of its own which is very playful, full of laughter, where even great masters behave like children. So things are tough right now, Cancer. And it's just that right now it just feels like you are just stuck in a box, that you're confined either with someone, some job situation, some mode of thinking where, I feel like you're coming out of it, but it's going to be important for you to understand going forward to actually really see the truth for what it is, to see whether or not something can be born from this. And I feel like it's going to take you having to actually get over these self-imposed restrictions in terms of what love is, what it means, like I said, what I was trying to say earlier, what it means for two people to come together. Are you dependent upon this person? Are they dependent upon you? Who's giving their share and who isn't? Okay, Cancer? So, with that being said, I will see you guys in the middle of March for your mid-month. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys again for all of your support. I really appreciate it. Adios.